All right, Nick Talks Everything is back to talk some Backlash. We're here to talk Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Nick, my first question to you. What is more likely to happen first? Damian Priest's title reign to end or Damian Priest to turn babyface? What say you?
Man, that's a hard question. I think it's going to be Damian Priest's title reign to end.
Oh, okay. Interesting. It's an interesting question.
I mean, no. Yeah. I'm sorry. I might switch up on you because Judgment Day, there's such a big group that they could turn babyface. So, I'm gonna say he could turn babyface.
You think he's going to turn babyface before losing his World Heavyweight Championship? All right. I think it's an interesting question because I think a babyface turn is in his future. I just don't know how near a future. Definitely think it's in his future for sure. And I'm curious where he lands on the babyface spectrum as on the card. I don't think he's going to be Cody Rhodes tier, but perhaps I could see him being Jey Uso's tier. But before we get into this match here, tell us a little bit about Nick Talks Everything.
All right. I'm Nick Talks Everything. I make videos about wrestling. I'm going to start making videos about basketball, music, just anything. And I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, all under the same name, Nick Talks Everything.
It's pretty catchy handle you got there and memorable. So it's very convenient that you got everywhere. But I'm sure you're not going to be talking a lot of Memphis Grizzlies as we're in the playoffs and they're pretty much out of it.
Man, they're going to be in it, or they're going to be in next year.
We'll see about that. Go Celtics. Anyways,
that's a Celtics fan. They might win.
Absolutely. All day, every day. You treat my boy Marcus Smart good, but that's for another day.
Oh, yeah. Another day.
Another day. All right. Jey Uso. Are you surprised he is the first challenger for Damian Priest?
Not really. Because Seth is kind of out of the picture and Drew is just obsessed with CM Punk for some reason. So I'm not surprised. I feel like with this reign, I think they're gonna have some fun and just throw in people that don't have that much world title experience, like Damian and Jey. They don't have that much world title experience. I think that Money in the Bank cash-in was Damian's first world title match, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was. He was the U.S. champion a few years ago. He was a tag team champion for a while. Both of those guys made evented pay-per-views in 2023, Jey being SummerSlam, Priest being Backlash. So it's pretty cool that he's now defending the championship a year later at Backlash. So there are guys that they've been trusted on, but not really guys necessarily around the world title. But let's be real, Roman Reigns has had a chokehold on this title for a very long time. And this, it's almost a year old B brand belt, but nothing against it. It's doing its job. Neither guy has really had a lot of opportunity. Not a lot of people have had opportunities to have world championship matches, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised Damian Priest is world champ, but not really if you kind of look at the path that took him here.
Initially, I was pretty mad about Damian winning the title because I really like Drew, and I wanted Drew to have a good reign. But Damian winning the title, it kind of shakes things up. And Triple H has shown that he has a lot of trust in Damian Priest, like a lot of faith in him. He's in one of the biggest factions in the WWE. He gets a lot of TV time. He won Money in the Bank. He held Money in the Bank for several months, and he won the world title at WrestleMania. So I'm down for the ride. I'm down to let Damian Priest cook for a little bit.
That's for sure. Me too. He's a guy that I was kind of always lukewarm on. I was like, he's the U.S. champ. It's whatever. He's the North American champ. Whatever. It feels like they're kind of slotting him in this place to see what happens. And what kind of was happening was him running in place. But with the Judgment Day, he's really the perfect foil for the Judgment Day. And he really took that ball and ran with it. And him and Rhea Ripley really grew within the Judgment Day. The pushes that they have gotten and are going to get is definitely warranted. And it's very, very cool to see him in this spot. Now, I got a sneaky suspicion that there's going to be a Raw and SmackDown trade before we get to Monday Night Raw. Do you have that suspicion, or am I just talking on my ass?
Before we get to the next Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, before we get to Monday night, before Raw kicks off at 8 o'clock on Monday night, I have a sneaky suspicion that there is going to be a trade. Am I talking out of my ass? Am I talking to the birds? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I thought about trades happening. I haven't been thinking about a trade at all this early. But I'm not gonna say you're an idiot for talking like that.
Well,
But
those are harsh
a tra-
words. I
no,
know
I'm
it's
not
good.
gonna. I'm not gonna get on you for talking about that. But it definitely is possible.
I don't think so, but there's a little tea leaves, little birds chirping. And I wouldn't be surprised if main event Jey Uso was in that trade. I know he was the first round pick for Raw on SmackDown last week, but
Who
if
would he
there
get
was
traded
a
for?
trade, I don't know. Maybe LA Knight or something.
Yes.
Maybe something like that. Because I kind of felt that LA Knight needed to be on the Raw brand and Jey Uso
Yeah.
needed to be on the SmackDown brand. So, and then with the little birdies and the little everything else, it's like that's a trade that I suspect may happen. But like you said, I'm just talking like an idiot, buddy.
No, I didn't say that, but for sure that makes me think of something. Like, I'm so mad that LA Knight got drafted to SmackDown because what does that do for him? Like, WWE, they've treated him like they put him in the main event, but he can't. I don't think he can really win that title right now. The one that Cody has, I don't think he can
Yeah.
take it off of him right now.
I
But
think he could win this one. That's why I thought he would be on Raw.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I guess if he stays on SmackDown, we'll get a cool Logan Paul feud. That's what I think. But I don't know what else would go on for him on SmackDown.
But hey, maybe that little birdie, that little tea leaf is right. We'll see. But we're here to talk about this
Maybe.
match. How do you think this match is going to go? Because last time you were on at WrestleMania, we had a kind of a dull match in the Final Testament versus the Pride, and it was low key, kind of good. And it, because
Oh yeah.
the expectations were so low. Now the expectations on this match for a world title match, in a way, it's also kind of low. What do you think this match is going to be, and how well do you think it will be received afterward?
That makes me think. I did see this picture. They showed a picture of the Damian Priest and Jey Uso world title graphic, and then they showed a picture of Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger fighting for the world
Oh
title.
man!
But
Oh,
it's
they
too
did them dirty there. That's dirty.
done
Oof.
dirty. It's two good workers that are good in the ring, so I don't think the match is going to be bad at all. But like with wrestling, I think aura is a really big part of it,
Yeah.
and both of them don't really have that much right now. Like, in my opinion, because maybe if it were an intercontinental match, they might have more aura. But since it's a world title match, I don't know. But I'm down for the ride.
This kind of belt, perhaps the belt maybe feels a little bit like a high class intercontinental championship
Yeah,
at this point. Not like the Gunther Intercontinental Champion, maybe perhaps the upper mid card Intercontinental Championship. I kind of get those vibes from this also, but I think it's going to be a show surprise. I'm not going to say it's going to be a show stealer because I think that will be probably AJ and Cody will probably be the best match on this card. Maybe the Bloodline match, but this one is a sleeper, perhaps, to be the best match on the card. Well, here's the thing: investment in these guys could wane. You know what I mean? Because you have Jey Uso, who I was at WrestleMania and I was at SummerSlam, and he had two high profile matches. And the crowd were not really there for him once the bell rang. Entrances, they were at 11 for him out of 10. They were hyped. They were ready to go. He was ready to rock, ready to roll. But facing his brother and facing his cousin, once the bell rang, people sat on their hands for a little bit. But for SummerSlam, it was a long night. For WrestleMania, it was dead smack in the card. So it was kind of like, is that the problem? Because once you go to France, you put this match on first, goddamn, the crowd is going to be electric, and that's only going to help this match here. So I would put this match on first when the crowd is yearning. This is a short match card at 5 matches, so I don't really think that the crowd is going to get tired whatsoever. It's the first time they're in France in a PLE for perhaps ever. I'm not really sure, but definitely in the longest time. So, yeah, I think that every match on this card is set up for success, especially this one, where if we were to put this match in the middle of WrestleMania or at the end of a long PLE match card, it really wouldn't succeed. But in this setting, it may. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Start the show off with a bang. I think it's the perfect match to start the show off with. Start with a world title match, end with a world title match, have the women's matches in the middle. I still don't know every every match on the card because I'm gonna be honest, during this past episode of Raw, I slept through like through like an hour of it.
Yeah,
But
the drafts are very, very, very overrated from a television
yeah,
viewing
it was
standpoint.
bad.
You get excited for them, but they're very dull.
Yeah, it was bad this year because they try to treat it like a sports draft, but if you look at it like a sports draft, like in what world is Jey Uso going number one? And they didn't. I look at it for change, but nothing changed. But yeah, we're talking about
Yeah.
Damian Priest and Jey Uso right now. But
Yeah. So, all right. Well, who do you think is going to win this match?
I'm gonna bet my house on Damian Priest winning because I don't really believe in Jey Uso as a world title guy just yet. Yeah, I'm not saying he could never win one, but he can definitely win it in the future. But I think they're gonna let, especially after letting Damian hold that briefcase for what feels like forever, they
9
should let
months?
him
Yeah.
have a good title reign. And if I'm looking into the future, I think when it does come time for Damian to lose, I think Finn Balor should be the one to take it off of him.
Oh, wow. That's bold. That is bold,
Yeah.
bold, bold. Finn does have a brand new contract, so perhaps that is true. I don't think the outcome here is going to be a surprise, but I think the journey of within the match and the structure and how they get there is the most intriguing part. Perhaps is it by nefarious means? Is it clean, godforsaken? I'm not sure, but I'm very, very curious on how and why they get there. Did the Judgment Day help? Perhaps maybe the bloodline gets involved in some way, some form. I don't know. We'll have to see. But
That's what I've been thinking about. Like, there are gonna be a lot of shenanigans because, of course, you got the Judgment Day, like you said, and the
yep,
Bloodline. I don't know if Jey Uso's met Tamatonga. I think that's his name.
Tamatonga, yep.
Tamatonga. I don't know if he's met him on TV yet.
I don't think he has, or maybe he hasn't met Jacob Fatu either. So we'll have to see. Maybe they're gonna cook
Hey.
something up so Jay demands a trade.
Oh yeah,
We'll
Jacob
see. We'll see.
Fatu. We
We'll
could see
see.
him debut. You know, debut
Hey,
the way the rest of the Bloodline does. Get a black hoodie, come out
yep.
of the crowd, messing people up.
Gang warfare style. That's what the bloodline now is all about. So perhaps that's what we get here. But all right, Nick. Last time I asked if you had one video to recommend, what would it be? Is there a different one you like to recommend to the masses here?
I really like my video. I went to AEW Dynasty recently,
Oh
and I made
wow.
a cool. Yeah, that was a great show. I got some really good seats. People are clowning on AEW. I'm not one of those people to pick one side or the other. I like both, but
I agree.
it was a great show. I had a great time, and it's like a different style video that from what I usually do. So I like that one. That's my video right now. So
All right, we're gonna have to drop it in the comments for people to check that out. Nick Talks Everything. Thank you very much, buddy. We'll see you on the next one.
see you later.